Okay. You see here the first screen of the application is called Language Bridge Technology. And when you click on the screen, it opens the next display.
S21.
And here are the lessons. You see all lessons. There are 31 lessons in this application, but each lesson has actually 3 lessons inside. It has a pre-recorded lesson, which are on this list. It has emotional poem, which is also a lesson, and it has a special option for you or for the teacher to create a lesson. So altogether it's 93 lessons, and you will show how it works. First, when you click on this button, you see that Subconscious Training English Skills demo, it's version 5.5, and it was just completed the latest version this year. If you click on this button,
Brief instruction.
you
When
will
you install the Language Bridge Technology application on an Android device, it does.
I will show you. I turned off the sound because I want to explain that the help is given here in 2 languages, in English and Chinese, because the first version of it was done for Chinese learners because 30% of all English learners in the world are located in China. However, then I made a modification, and now the same help can be translated into any language. And I will show you later how you can translate it and use it. So if your learners are intermediate and they understand English, they can listen to this voice. If they don't, they will translate it into their native language, in your case, Portuguese, and will read it and understand how the program works. I have selected for demonstration the lesson number 10, and it starts with the so-called word cloud. What you see here is word cloud. I will stop it now, and I will sorry, I will and you will see now that each time different words appear on the screen in the word cloud. The word cloud, if you click on this screen, it will stop it. Is here for 2 purposes. First, your subconscious records all those words which appear on the screen subconsciously. You are not aware of it. And that's why this method is called retention without remembering. Because those words are from the lesson which you will learn, when you will work on the lesson, you will recall those words as you have seen them somewhere. In this manner, the words are retained much faster. They go to long-term memory when you work on them. And second purpose, because they use different colors, different directions, and different fonts, and in sound, and usually in some versions I use here music instead of sound, and it means that a right brain is activated because all those functions could be maintained only by your right brain. That means that whole brain learning is ensured by this application. If so, the first drill is in Chinese, as I've told you, but I will show you that you can get the same text in Portuguese in a minute. Now, each drill has this symbol. When you click on it,
Drill 1. Read the text in your native language without pronouncing the words and try to visualize the story given.
so the Chinese read the text in their language, Portuguese will read in their language, and you visualize this story with, you will work with this story, so you know what it's all about. Click on this button and we go to drill 2. What is drill 2? I click on this symbol and it explains drill 2.
Drill 2. Repeat aloud the recorded text using headphones and speaking simultaneously with the speaker, with a delay of 1 or 2 words and without stopping the tape. While doing this, follow the English text with your eyes and imagine that you are participating in the situation. Don't pay attention to the details.
This is the main drill, and now I will demonstrate it to you. Click on the play button.
Lesson 10. Word body. The
human body
is
an instrument
for
the production of art
in
the life of the human soul. Alfred North Whitehead.
Your body
can do more things than you may think it can.
Just think how many functions your body performs without your being aware of them. A body
has its own pharmacy, which produces many chemicals that are used for different purposes. I will stop it and I will show you the whole text and explain how it works. You understand that I demonstrated to you, you read the text, listen to the recording, necessarily in headset, and speak at the same time. When I do 3 actions, I cannot think in my native language, in any language. So I just do 3 things, and if I understand and visualize what it's all about, then after multiple repetitions, I will be able to repeat all those sentences automatically. So I do not remember, I do not recall, I do not memorize, I do not translate. I just train my brain, my subconscious part, to speak automatically. You may say, what if I don't know the word, or I forgot? I read it in my native language, but I forgot. You see translation into Portuguese. You read this one, visualize, never use this, so it should never be pronounced. But after you read and visualize this story in Portuguese, And I think I don't know Portuguese, but I hope the translation is okay. It's not 100%, but usually it's more than 90% accurate. What you can do now is click on this button.
A body has its own pharmacy, which produces many chemicals that are used for different purposes.
You listen to it in English. Never pronounce in Portuguese and listen to it in English. Work in English all the time. All the drills is work, train. Language is a muscle which you develop, not something which you memorize. So you know how this is the main drill, and you do it a few times, actually many times, and then after multiple repetitions, you can do it easily. Sometimes, especially beginners, they may omit a few words. It's okay. Your purpose now is not to teach, because this application honestly knows much more English than any teacher can do. And that is why it provides you with all kind of help and drills. Your purpose now is to explain to your learners, students, how to use it. The next drill, click on this button and we'll go to the next drill. Drill 3, listen what it means.
Drill 3. Continue repeating the recorded text simultaneously with the speaker many times until you can do it easily and without omissions. Then do a few more repetitions with your eyes closed, without analyzing your own pronunciation.
Who can explain me, Eliana, can you explain me why I recommend for this drill to listen, speak at the same time, and close my eyes? Why I should close my eyes? I recommend to close my eyes. Do you have any
Uh,
idea why?
well, I suppose it's because of this visualization. The visualization, yes. When you close your eyes, you can visualize better the with your emotional, your mind, and not just to using your conscious mind, but your subconscious. I suppose it's yes or no.
Yes, it's actually very good answer. You're absolutely right. I will add only one scientifically well established fact. For just watching is a very complicated, complex process. We use about 65% of our brain energy. And when we close our eyes, we free
Mm-hmm.
65% of energy. And that energy is used automatically for visualization, for turning on your emotions, for visualizing. And what you
Yes.
listen and speak, you observe as a video with your eyes closed. So, what my students notice that after completing this course, all of them notice improved memory because visualization is restored. This drill helps to restore visualization, and it's extremely useful and it's extremely helpful. Most adults, and if we'll go into other details, why most adults have difficulty in learning a foreign language, because they lost their ability to visualization. Adults become logical, too many subjects in school, too many information learned. We are thinking all the time. We are rarely visualizing, and emotionally, we are always not connected with the text. So now try to close your eyes and do this a few sentences.
Lesson 10.
Lesson 10.
Word body.
Word body.
The human
The
body
human body
is
is an instrument
for
for
the
the
production
production
of
of art
in
in
the
the life
life
of
of the
human
human soul.
soul.
Alfred
Alfred
North
North Whitehead.
Your body
Your body
can do
can
more
do more
things
things
than you
than
may
you
think
may
it
think
can.
it can. It's a picture there.
Just think
Just think
how
how many
functions
functions
your
your body performs
without
without
your
your
being
being
aware
aware
of
of
them.
them.
A body
A body
has
has its own pharmacy,
which
which produces
many
many chemicals
that
that
are
are
used
used for different purposes. I stopped it, and now I hope you understand that this is drill 3, and it develops further your ability to visualization and to speak automatically. The more you repeat, the more you train your language muscle. You develop a language, actually, speech center in your brain. The next drill.
Drill 4. Now, while repeating the text after the speaker and without stopping the cassette, write down as many words as you can that come to your mind. Then repeat this drill 3 times and write down the new words each time.
Now, this time, your students do 3 actions, but different actions. So they are listening, speaking, and typing. Because now I will show only the results of this, I cannot demonstrate to you, because what we are doing now, you understand that I use Zoom on my PC, but I streamline from my Android phone, and it does not have all functions. My keyboard now is turned off, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to streamline it. But when you are doing this exercise, you are listening, speaking, and typing at the same time. Typing is also a subconscious process. First of all, you develop correct spelling. And the more you type, first, you will be able to type only a few words. You omit a lot of them. But then, with each repetition, you add here more and more words. So you develop, first of all, you ensure that you do it subconsciously because you perform 3 actions. And secondly, you develop correct spelling, correct grammar, and automatic typing. Now, the next drill.
Drill 5. Compare the words from Drill 4 with those of the text. Write down from the lesson all words and word combinations that you missed and pronounce them aloud a few times.
In this drill, it allows you to do the same thing, but now you can add those words which you missed by just scrolling the lesson, and then you can add here those words. Okay. For example, if you miss the word healing, now you can type it here, healing. Okay. Or you miss the word wound, you type wound. You add more and more words here. Thus, you work with the words, but they are actually always in a sentence. So you do not work with translations or separate words, or do not remember separate words. You always experience English. Now, the next drill.
Drill 6. Compose short sentences with the word combinations from drill 5 and repeat them aloud several times as fast as you can until a whole sentence sounds like one word to you.
Now, looking at those words, and you understand, and now probably you cannot do it because you listen to it only once and only a part of the lesson. But I assure you that the students, after multiple repetitions, can actually, looking at those words, restore the whole text of the lesson. The human body is an instrument for the production of art in the life of a human soul. Your body can do many things which you may think it does much more functions that you can imagine. Your body performs a lot of functions without your being aware, and so on and so forth. So you practically, looking at those words, restore. You do not recall, you do not remember, you do not create sentences. Again and again, pay attention that you are training, subconsciously training. This is I would say, one of the most important drills. Now let's listen to the description of this drill.
Drill 7. Surprise drill. Here, you may paste any text from a document or internet to create your own lesson for speech shadowing. You may use this drill for preparation of your homework by typing text. When the text is created, it is automatically transferred to the next drill, Drill 8. Here, it could be read aloud by the text-to-voice robot with nearly human quality. You may change the size of the text by clicking on the buttons at the bottom of the screen. To see the translation of any word into Mandarin, click on it to highlight and then
but the same is true, not you translate it not only into Mandarin, but the same thing is true that you can translate it into Portuguese.
Sonho para viver, sonho para morrer com ele. Eu sou sonhador.
Here, the one abstract.
I don't have money. I know nothing, but I have a dream. I am a dreamer.
So if you don't know it first, you look at the translation, visualize it, and then play it. And you can repeat it many times.
I don't have money. I know nothing, but I have a dream. I am a dreamer.
You understand how it works. But now, what this drill 7 means. I have put this text, but you can put here any text of your choice, from internet, from homework, anything what is of interest to you. Maybe you are learning medical stuff, put medical stuff here. And what happens when you go to the next drill? The text is already here. And here will apply to this text, to the text which you have selected or created, will apply the same principle of subconscious training, which is called simultaneous reading, listening, and speaking. One interesting note here. This program determines automatically which text-to-speech engine you have on your device. All Android devices have Samsung, if it is a Samsung, or Google, or you may buy, and then it will be another one, and you select which engine you want to use. I want to use this time Google. I click on it once, and it means that Google text-to-speech engine will be used in this drill. And when I click on this button, I have an option to read the text, listen to the engine, to the robot, and speak at the same time. So the same drill, but the lesson is created by you. Isn't it something very, very different and special? Let's check it.
Dreamer by Kale Ohas. I have a dream.
I
A dream
have a
to
dream.
live for. A dream to die with. I am a dreamer. I want to go to a place. I want to do something. I want to make a mark. I am a dreamer. I don't have money. I know nothing. But I have a dream. I am a dreamer. I can do it.
You understand that it's not recording, and with the same quite clear voice. And by the way, you have options to increase or decrease the speed of this voice just by going to your settings. And you select in such a way the voice which you like and the speed which you like. Well, for beginners, it should be slow. For intermediate learners, it's higher speed. And you use this drill for simultaneous repetition. What else is here? Here you see the button. If you click on it, it will record what you are learned. You can, after you have done it many times, you can read it on your own and it will record it, and then you listen to it. How is your pronunciation? How you do it? Now, this is very important button, because if you click on this button, you see that you can share what you have recorded with anybody. You can send it to Dr. Jeanette or to anybody on WhatsApp, or to the teacher, or to your friends. So it is great because digital learners love to share it. And besides, it's also when you are in the school using this program, you always receive those recordings for evaluation and giving the feedback. Keep in mind that this application can be used in class, and it provides something which was impossible before. All students are working using their own tablets or devices and headsets, and they all learn English, because actually what they do self-learning by using subconscious training. And your purpose is not to teach them, is not to explain them how English works, is just to explain them that they will do it much faster if they will open the road to their subconscious training and will do it. So it's not easy, because here practically you do everything opposite what you were doing in your school now. For example, we never correct errors. We never explain grammar. And it seems like it has no meaning. I would say that it has no meaning to correct errors because our brain does not have a tool to differentiate and to remember what is right and forget what is wrong. It actually remembers both. And that's why making corrections of errors, it was shown in research many times, does not improve results of your students. Why you cannot explain grammar? Because native speakers use what is called intuitive grammar. It is not standard grammar. And by the way, native speakers don't know grammar. And I have seen quite a few very honest teachers, and one of them recently, you can find that in one of my articles on LinkedIn. He honestly had shown that he could not pass ESL testing because he does no grammar. His grammar is intuitive grammar. He knows it as a feeling, what is right, what is wrong. I am speaking now without thinking about the rules. I am speaking by association automatically because I have a feeling what is right, what is wrong. And that feeling is trained by your students automatically, subconsciously, after multiple repetitions. They will speak just in most correct way and in the best possible pronunciation for them, but definitely they will have an accent, and you should not correct their accent. It doesn't matter. Again, it was recently shown by research that evaluating millions of non-native English speakers, it was determined that fluency is most important for communication skills. If you are fluent, you could be understood. And keep in mind that nowadays, out of 4 people speaking in English in the world, in the global economy, 3 of them are non-native speakers, and they understand each other, especially if their fluency is right. What means fluency? Fluency is ability of student to speak with more than 90 words per second. Most of your learners speak with about 60 words per minute because they continue thinking in their native language and translate into English, and it is not a way to natural communication. The next drill, drill 9.
One-man show. Complete the word blocks given below and act out the scenes using your dominant senses: vision, hearing, taste, etc. In acting out each scene, you may choose to be an actor, a singer, a dancer, a stage director, or an artist. First, use the word blocks from the current lesson to work through the scenes. Then you may use word blocks from other lessons. 1.
1.
The human
body is an instrument for the production of art in the life of the human body.
2. Your body
can do more things that you can imagine.
3.
3.
Just think how many
functions your body can perform without your being aware.
4.
And so on and so forth. So here all in this drill 10 sentences. And again, instead of those sentences in conventional methods, when you fill in or translate or do something you have to do consciously, here you train by just completing automatically the sentence, and you will do it automatically without thinking, because after multiple repetitions you have acquired those word blocks, those collocations. That's why this drill of one-man show again and again trains your ability to speak automatically.
Drill 10. Testing active vocabulary and fluency. Click the record button, then on the execute button, first button at the bottom of the screen. You will see a word selected randomly from the current lesson. Create a few sentences describing something from your experiences sparked off by the displayed word. Then, click on the execute button to display the next word. Repeat this testing for more than 20 words. Then, click the stop button to finish recording your sentences. To listen to your recording, click on the play button. After completing recording, you may click the share button and send it to friends, or, in the case of blended learning, to your teacher.
I would like to ask you if just by listening to the recording and to explanation of the drill, do you understand how to do it? Or it was not quite clear maybe from the first hearing? I will explain it. So you click on this button record and it starts recording, and then you click on this button. The word randomly selected from the lesson which you learned will appear on the screen, and you have to create 2, 3, 4 sentences ignited by that word. It means you do not translate, you do not explain, you just tell something from your life experience which this word ignited. Okay, I will say a few examples myself, and then I will ask you to do it. Mouth. Mouth is a very sensitive instrument, and you must now, in this pandemic, know that very often the COVID comes through nose or through your mouth. So when you come from the outside, you have to rinse your mouth, and I use for that special rinsing solution. I will explain to you how the subconscious training works, and maybe some of the recommendations you will not understand first, but then you can ask me, we can discuss it in some details. For example, you were talking about using voice recognition. It's a very complex problem. I use voice recognition, but for a different purpose, but not what the conventional methods use. Voice recognition is a very bad thing because it does not allow students to learn it consciously. Adults have great difficulties in acquiring a foreign language, and now you understand why. Because they do reading, listening, and other skills separately, but you have to learn a foreign language as the first language, not as a second language. You have to wire the words, the symbols in which you think, and with the words which you learn, and so on and so forth. You understand. And now, this program will calculate how many words you answered, what is the speed of your speech, how many words you sat per minute, that is fluency, and so on and so forth. So testing is a way to develop ability to speak automatically. And students love it because each time it's different and it develops their ability to speak automatically without thinking. It is the most important drill. And if you decide to implement it in your school, what I recommend to do is to do testing at the beginning of the your semester or session, and you will see that students have a very maybe low fluency and they know only a few words, not many. It doesn't matter. What matters is that they will see on if you do the same testing after each lesson, and then at the end of the course, you will see a tremendous progress. And that would be a proof that this approach, subconscious training, actually works. It will prove to students, to you, and to anybody who will watch or listen to your testing results. And the last drill?
Drill 11. Bonus drill. Read the poem several times. To translate unknown words into Mandarin, click on the word. Then, do speech shadowing by following the text with your eyes and listening to the recording by clicking on the green play button. When a learner completes speech shadowing without omissions or mistakes, click the record button and read the text of the poem, this time without listening to the recording. Click the stop button to finish recording. Click on the blue play button to listen to your recording. If not satisfied, record it again.
So you understand that explanation, and again, I would like to mention that you can always highlight it and translate it into Portuguese. It's a part of it. So don't hesitate that it will work for beginners, intermediate, and advanced students. The beauty of this approach that it doesn't matter on which level your students are in the class, because you give them a completely new method and they have to actually unlearn what they learned, and it means it doesn't matter what they know, because they have to develop a new speech center, subconscious speech center in their brain. And that's why it is done in such a way that everybody can work on this. And keep in mind that maybe for advanced or intermediate students, these have 31 by 93 lessons. The first lesson starts with the sentence, I can count to 10. For beginners, what can be more simple? But you never explain separate words. But in the same first lesson, you have also a sentence, you live as long as you love. I love my country. So you start with sentences, never with the words. Never. If your beginner learner knows how to read and can read a little bit, that's enough to master and to become fluent in less than 12 months. Now, listen.
The Guy
in the Glass by Dale Wimbrough. When you get what you want in your struggle for self, and the world makes you king for a day, just go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that man has to say.
For it
For it
isn't your
your
father
or
or
mother
mother
or
or
wife
wife whose
whose
judgment
judgment upon
upon
you
you must
must
pass,
pass.
the
The
fellow
fellow
whose
whose verdict
verdict counts
counts most
most in
in
your
your
life
life
is
is
the
the
one
one
staring
staring
back
back
from
from
the
the
glass.
glass. I stopped it to save time, and you'll understand that each lesson has such an emotional poem, and you use simultaneous repetition. And because it's emotional, it's always easy to connect with it. And after multiple repetitions, you learn all those phrases. Keep in mind that the application has many new features which never were used before. And in some, I have more than 50 articles describing it. I have 2 ebooks describing the method, etc. But now I would like to show you here only one such unique feature. Each line has only one image. It's not the line which goes on, flows on, and then you cannot visualize it. You cannot connect with it emotionally and so on. So again and again, and every detail here is for subconscious training. And because it has only one visual image every line, after multiple repetitions, you learn actually to see a few lines at the same time. That is the main principle for fast reading. So you acquire a lot of skills here without your being aware of them. You improve your memory, you improve your reading ability, typing ability, your spelling, your grammar, because it's intuitive grammar, the grammar which native speakers use. And that is why it's the most advanced method which you may find today in the language industry. Those are all drills in this application. And now I am ready to answer all your questions. Do you have any questions?
Let me see if I understand. You have 93 lessons.
We have 31 lessons, and if you go here, you see 31 lessons, but each lesson has 3 lessons inside of it. And
Okay.
so I say that 31 lessons in the application, but altogether it's 93 lessons. And because you can add in drill 7 your own lessons, unlimited number of your own lessons, so it becomes
Okay.
unlimited in vocabulary. If you will ask
Okay.
me what is the vocabulary, more than 5,000 words, but it can be even more. It depends how many new lessons you will create.
Okay. 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 Very good. Very good. Uh, I like a lot. I like a lot. I don't remember. You said this the first time. I think that the Chinese teacher asked in the last presentation, what is the price that you intended to practice in the country?
Latest version of this application, which I demonstrated to you at 5.5, it actually comes with all lessons, and you pay $4.99 for life. You don't pay a penny more. So it's practically nothing. It's peanuts. So it's very cheap, very advanced, very useful, and keep in mind that you should be retrained.
Yeah.
Because you cannot,
Okay.
and for you it would be extremely difficult without, if you used to make corrections, if you used to explain grammar or to give directions or to explain what is English or to say the sentence structure, etc. You need some kind of training, and I have a few recordings which will help you. You will need a few sessions and maybe to read an ebook to understand the principle, and then you will be able to answer any question. For example, I will, whatever you have heard, and I will just ask you a question. Do you recommend to use flashcards? You know what is flashcard?
Yeah.
Do you use flashcards?
No. We don't use. We don't use in the flashcard in our school.
Okay. Do you recommend to use translation?
Yes. Translation. Yes.
Now, do you understand that no translation?
The accelerated learning. You know there is just two ways. There is more than two ways to teach a language. You know, but there is the methodology with translation. There is some acceleration in and understand the work, but it's not important now. When if you are working with your methodology in Brazil, it's not important now. It's important that the people can follow the instructions. I think this is easy. Think how if you intend and in the future put this for the iOS or iPhone or Mac, something
It
like
is
that.
for any country because the native language could be selected any native language in the world. So it will work for Brazil, China, Japan, and for any country. I will explain why, and you will understand why I do not recommend, especially for the first part, no translation. The problem is that actually now you know that it's my discovery, it's my patent, and teachers usually don't know, you never heard about it. The main problem that adult students have, they remember the English words as translations into their native language. And this is unfortunately ingrained habit. All your students, there is no exception, especially beginners, 100%. They think in their Portuguese while learning English, and they always translate from Portuguese into English. So if you will use translation, you reinforce that what I want to eliminate. And here is one other thing. In which language do you think?
It depends. Sometimes okay, almost part of the day, I think in Portuguese, you know. If I am watching a movie or now I am speaking fast, I don't have time to think in English, you know. If I forget some word or how you say, no, not in this time I will speak in Portuguese. But
can I
okay, but
can I correct you and listen carefully? Because what I will tell you now, you again, you never heard about it. We all, without any exclusion, all people think in the language of thoughts. This language has been wired with your native language and created the illusion that monolingual people think in their native language. It's illusion, it's wrong, and it was proven by many scientists that we think in language of symbols. What that means? It means that if you know and are fluent in 5 languages, okay, I speak a few languages, and
Okay.
before speaking or verbalizing, I have to think. Irrespective of how many languages you speak, you have to start thinking first. And that means is that images or symbols are images, feelings which come to your mind. The language of thought is the main language which you use in your dreams. If you remember your
Okay.
dreams, that is the language of thought. So, what that means is if we know that language of thought is one, only one for anybody, so our
Okay.
purpose is completely different. We have to wire symbols of language in which we think to new words of a new language. And it's a completely different story. It's a new definition what means to learn a language. And that's why you need a little retraining to be able to understand and to answer any question which may arise during your lessons. So now you understand why not to translate. You understand why you are lucky that you say that you don't use flashcards, but 99% of teachers use flashcards.
Yes,
Flashcards
yes,
is
yes.
a terrible, terrible thing because again it reinforces cross translation. Okay, there's many other things
Okay.
which may happen in your class. Somebody may ask you about why we are not doing that fill-in drills. And you explain because it will be conscious learning. You have to think, you have to recall, to memorize. And conscious learning have recall very, very slow. Subconscious training has a instantaneous recall because you do not recall actually. It comes up automatically, subconsciously. Any other questions?
It's fun. Yeah, no, it's okay. This is fantastic. Okay, Dr. Page. It's fantastic. The line the line that you discovered is great. I think that our methodology disagree only in the translation question, but it's not important. What is important now? If you can use your app, né? O app, aplicativo, filho.
Yes.
Your app, he's asking
Your
if
app,
you can use for iOS, for
if,
iPhones.
No,
exactly
it's only for
using.
Android. I do not have for iPhone, and it was done on purpose. 75% of the digital learners in the world use Android. iPhone, and because I was my own investor and I could not invest into applications, I created that into that, which is used by most. And that is why it's only for Android applications.
Okay, if you have a good results in Brazil with your app, you can talk about this tomorrow. You can help you to develop this with your team or our team in Brazil. But it's another conversation. We talked about this
Yes,
in another day.
yes. And if you will watch again, I sent you a link to the previous presentation in which I have explained that actually the next versions will be created for each particular country who would like to create it. I cannot do it for all countries. Now I can be, support you, provide you technical support, but you can create it
Okay.
for Brazil, even creating a special text for created for Brazil, etc. And it would not be very, very expensive because the technical specification is known, the programming is known, and even the programmer. I use a programmer actually from another country is also available. So But keep in mind one thing I would like to mention, which we didn't stress. But first, I would like to ask you, if you have 20 students in a class, how many minutes per class each student can speak in English?
Our case is different. It's no.
Yeah, because we are used to work with individual students, so they don't work together. Like, oh, if I talk more, I will be talking by 5 minutes. But in our course, in our school, we work one by one, so they can speak all the time they need. We don't work with group of students.
Okay, but the individual lessons are pretty expensive and not as efficient because if you work in group and use this application, what will happen is that all students work at the same time. Keep in mind that in the class where you have 20 students, each student speaks less than a minute per class. It's nonsense, right?
Yeah, we agree.
But this application is used in the class, and every student speaks using this application, doing simultaneous repetition. So every student speaks all the time. And it was absolutely impossible in any other method that all students practice at the same time, and more than that, they do it subconsciously, using the most powerful part of their mind. What can be faster? What can be better?
Dr. Arcadian, the first market in the world for the English language is China. Okay, no, don't doubt about that. But the second market in the world is Brazil.
I know it.
Now we have, you know.
Yes, I know. But do you know what is English proficiency in Brazil?
Yeah. We have two big schools online in Brazil. Two big schools. And the first, the biggest in the world, and EF.
And yes, English for Life used to be called English Town before.
Yeah.
And now they are called English for Life.
And Open English. This is two online, but we have a big and physical schools, a lot in Brazil. So we have a great opportunity with your Apple app in Brazil. A fantastic opportunity. You have an opportunity to fail because nobody in Brazil are teaching about the subcontent methodology. This is new. I don't know if it's new in the world, but it's new in Brazil. So this is because the people pay first and they use after, you know. So I love the app. I love it. But the sales proposal is subcontent methodology. This is new. The explanation is simple. You need to use your eyes, your mouth, and your here. You know, this is simple. Everybody understand when you and the app proves this work. You show a lot. So it's everything is okay. Everything is okay. This is the so now we are testing this in the market. You know.
Yes, I know it, and I also know. Do you know? I will tell you a funny story. To me, it's funny. Brazil needs it very much because English proficiency in Brazil is very, very low. And what is funny, that Brazil is number one country according to the number of customers on Duolingo. Duolingo is a program, has 400 million customers, but it's an absolute, I would not say nonsense. I do not have the right if they have 400 million users, but it is only for beginners to learn a few sentences and to be able to say good night, good morning, and where's the restroom? Okay?
Yeah.
So Duolingo is number one in Brazil because,
Sabia disso?
yeah,
You know that?
I've checked it, so you may check
I
it.
don't know. I don't know that.
You may check it, yeah, and that is funny.
Yeah,
It is really funny because Brazil needs a new method, and you now understand the method. You now, and please look and watch again the previous part one recording. There is even more theory and more explanation, and you will understand that you need retraining to sell it and to advertise it, because you have to know from inside to be able to answer any question which pops up. Eliana, do you have any questions?
Yes. I have a question. I would like to know if the app has 10 lessons. Yes? No, 31 lessons.
31
yes?
lessons multiplied by 3, because each lesson has 3 lessons inside.
You have
so
the possibility to input my own classes, for example.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to know each class has only texts, not images. Do you understand?
no.
For example,
Pictures,
no.
movies, for example.
Okay, just example.
Eliana,
I'm a very visual person, I'm a very visual person. I like to use visualization and some lyrics to learn words in another language, for Spanish or English, okay? Because I like music. So my question is it possible to input this kind of song lyrics in these classes and try to use these sounds, visualization, the images, in the same time reading, speaking? Do you understand what?
Yes, I understand. First of all, you should know the difference. When you are talking about images and visualizations, those are two different stories. By the way, images not always bring visualization, and quite the opposite. Rosetta Stone, if you know that name, was the first, and at one time was brand number 1 in the world because they use images. But it turned out that images do not work, and they now bankrupt. And the Rosetta Stone is not a language company anymore. It's a reading company, and they lost 90% of their workforce. Because images, you need visualization of your symbols. For example, if you read the word table, you have to visualize it. You should not look at the picture of table and visualize. It's not possible. Your word has to be visualized. So it's a different type of visualization. And if you remember, I had there a special drill with closed eyes. That what develops visualization. What refers to these songs? You can use a text of the song in drill 7. Remember that about I Am a Dreamer? Instead of that, put there a song. Yep. Learn this song and then read it, speak at the same time, and if you want, sing it out at the same time. Of course, you can do it. So your possibilities are unlimited.
Yes, in this case, for me, for example, I said the images, but I use visualize the songs, the lyrics, the songs lyrics when listen the song, when I listen to music. So I think it's a good idea, maybe, if you notice wrong, to use the music together to reading and listening and typing.
No. Eliana,
No.
I
Okay.
used music in my first version, and I use it only with the word cloud. But to put music on the text is not recommended because
Okay.
you remember I have made a definition what is subconscious training. I introduced it and I found it by pure chance and I patented it. 3 actions at the same time. There is no way for too much or for music, etc., because then you would be involved in a completely different, you will be redirected. You need text, listen, and repeat. Music is good for word clouds, for testing, for drill 7. You can do it, but do not overemphasize it because not every person likes music, not every person can sing. Many people cannot sing or they will become emotionally, stressful. Yeah, I never sing. If you will ask me to sing, I will be stressed out.
Okay. Another just a curiosity. You said about our mind learning by symbols. Okay, I'm right. Am I right? Symbols, using symbols to learning in this case. Please correct me if you are wrong. Okay. Mandarin and Chinese language use symbols. Do you think the Chinese people has more abilities to learn faster than the other language if you use symbols?
No, because those are two completely different symbols. Their symbols, it's a very complicated way of alphabet. And they are actually have very great difficulties. Chinese and Japanese. Chinese is the only language in the world which is tonal. Tonal, which means that the sound there is plays a great importance. So for Chinese, extremely difficult to learn English, and it is also very difficult for Japanese. Do you know that Japan is on the list of industrial countries is number 3? On the list of English proficiency is number 78. English proficiency in Japan even worse than in China. Much worse.
Really?
Nobody speaks English in Japan because they learn there consciously. They try to remember words and translate from Japanese into English. It's not possible.
Okay. That's thanks for your answer. It's a doubt about that,
Yeah.
I have a doubt. Okay, thank you.
May I ask you something,
Yeah,
Doctor?
sure.
These lessons that you are showing us, these 31 lessons, they have different subjects, but they change the level of difficulty. For example, some of them are easiest, others are not, or are the same level, just changing the subject.
No, they are changing, and if you will go to lesson 1. Here is lesson 1. Look, hello, my name is David, and my name is Jessica. I can count to 10, 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. So it starts with very simple sentences, and there is something else. Do you know what is special English? Special English is a term which was developed 50 years ago, and it was developed in United States by Voice of America. It's a way of which was used by Voice of America because they speak by 30% slower, use 2,000 basic fundamental words to express any idea and thought. And when you start learning, the first lesson is recorded in special English, very slow, very clearly, so it's easily to reproduce. And especially if you use your headsets, you can reproduce it because you do not listen, do not analyze, and do not think about it. That's why your pronunciation in this, after this course, would be nearly perfect, would be much better than in any other school, because you start from simple sentences and they are much more complicated, and the normal language is after language lesson number 15.
Got it. Just one more question, one last question. There is one drill that you showed us. I believe it is fantastic for developing conversation, but I was worried about how it works for beginners. When you showed us a word and I need to create my own sentences. When I already have some vocabulary, it's okay to create 4 sentences with the word together, for example, or mouth, like you've done before. But how the students do that at the beginning when they have a small vocabulary?
Because at the beginning, when you turn here on the first lesson, there would be very simple words appear on the screen. And after many repetitions, you know all this, and by the way, here is about 75 words. You know them automatically, so you will say the sentences from this lesson. And if you will see the word journey, you will say, together we will go on a wonderful journey.
Okay, so
Yes.
at the beginning, I use the words from the sentences that I studied before.
Of course,
Thank you very much.
it's from each sentence. After each fifth lesson, the dictionary usually contains all 5 previous lessons. Jobber, I think also that you should probably write your ideas and what should be stressed and what you want to see and how to, because you say to present it to your students. I'm not sure how to do it because your students do not know English yet, and I do not speak Portuguese. How you think to do it? To translate or what? How to do it and what to show them? The pedagogy, the methodology, or the application? I am not quite sure what you mean by demonstrating it.
We have a lot of students and a list that never a future student, it's a potential student. So our first action is offer not for our actually students, but for the future students. For example, today Eric and me will do a live and for all marketing, not just only our students, for all marketing. So in the end of this slide, this class, you can offer our products. For example, we have a lot of products in Brazil. In the next month, we would like to offer your app for these students to start see how if they like or not. This is the first step, This is the first step. If you have some kind of problem with technology or translation in the app, or working together to solve, it's okay, Eric.
We are talking about how to offer the product here in Brazil for new students. We already have a addresses list, and we can offer them your product and the method. That's what we want to talk again to see how to do that, how to work together in Brazil.
Eric, I think that actually the presentation for your future students should be done in Portuguese. And that means that I can help you to create such a presentation. I can give you some drafts and you create it because I don't know Portuguese, but you can create the text and I will see the English version of it through Google Translate and we'll make suggestions. Because if they don't know English, my presentation would be of no value to them. And more than that, I can be there as a guest after you present, and they will have some questions. Then we'll do it in such a way that they ask questions in Portuguese. Everything is in Portuguese. You translate into English, and I give answer if I am asked. But for me to make presentation makes no sense.
Of course. No. We do the presentation. We do. Okay, but with your you can do alone, and you give to us the instructions. You can do alone, or I like this idea that the third stage participates in some moments, and the people can do. It's the first time we do this in Brazil.
Hey,
it's okay. Just we need to talk. We need to talk in the middle before that amount, because in the end the people wanna buy. We can. Okay, this is a bureaucrat. The practice questions, no? You know, how the people buy, how the people put the name. You know, because you have the price to us. And I'll give it other price to Brazil. We need to earn some money, okay? But
that is a different story. We have to write a contract. You can write a draft of the contract, how you imagine what you want to do, and I will give my thoughts, and we will write a contract. The application is downloaded from Google Play Store, and the money goes not to me directly. It is you pay money to Google Play Store, and they pay me a certain percentage. But it's one thing. But another thing, the technical support, or if you want to create something, or group support, etc., all that should be discussed in the contract. And we can arrange it. Everything is very flexible. I'm flexible because my purpose is honestly not to make big money. My purpose is to change the way adults learn English. And if we work on that together, then we can earn a lot of money, because there's a lot of people that need it. They do not have any other way to improve their English proficiency.
Okay.
So in this case, is it possible to buy a license for you, exclusively for University of English, for example? Yes?
Okay. You can talk about this in the future.
Honestly,
I
suppose it's a kind of license, yes or no?
Eliana, you need a license only in the case if you sell the course. But if you are a teacher alone and use the course, you don't need license. You can just use it. But if you are selling it then, or use this technology, because it's patented, you need a license. I have 2 patents on this technology in the United States. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Hey.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you next week. We talk technical next week.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If you have any questions, please write to me.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay,
You're most
bye.
welcome. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.